Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Disco Elysium. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're chose to join me today after we slept very well last night. Not according to some of the accounts on our sleeping. Apparently we only slept 3 hours, but that's okay. We need to ask around about Ruby, and I found a bullet in the washerwoman's shack. I don't know how that connects to Ruby, but, Oh, actually, Kim...
Yes?
Nothing. Maybe I could tell him about the bullet. Just saying.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
What is the song you're humming? A lullaby my mother used to sing. I sang it to my kids too. It's an old Samaran children's song. It sounds nice. Yes, she nods. It does. Why was there a bullet under the floorboards of your shack? God damn that girl, she murmurs softly. A bullet? The lieutenant turns to you and gives you a little nod. And then turns to the washerwoman. You didn't put it there, did you? She did. Gone and hid things in there. She shakes her head. She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either. You rented a room to her? The old woman sits in silence, her hands moving into the water bucket. Some water sloshes over the edge. Slowly she speaks, wringing out a rag. Yes, I let my room to that... rented, whatever. Let? Actually, can you say let instead of renting? Because you might, actually. That might be a weird way of using that verb, but I believe it might actually work like that. Like outlet. Where does the let come from, outlet? Know what I mean? Anyway, I let my room to that Ruby girl. As I've done before when she's been in trouble, or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear, we welcome all kinds of people here. When was this? She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. Her wrinkled hand kneads a blue rag in the water. What has she gotten herself into, that girl? She seems genuinely worried, says our empathy, about her previous tenant. She's seen her hiding out from trouble before, but this seems different. That's for the police to find out. The lieutenant takes out his familiar blue notebook. Right then, please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few. Yes, we do. The track is cold, and we're not going to be able to find her, as I was hoping to. We have things to do today, but one of the things that I really wanted to do is just explore the rest. But I don't even know if I can explore the rest of this side of the river. So you said she left on Monday. Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think. She probably heard the lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up, just like it did you. Yes, logic, thank you. Kim, she must have heard your Kanema. Yes, that is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. His voice is tinged with pride. I let the bad guys know when you're coming, or it lets, yeah. Is the room that's actually a lot of power, or I say a lot of power. That is a lot of power for a car like that. It's probably like 200 horsepower, somewhere around there. Yeah. Is the room exactly as she left it? Yeah, I cleaned it, like I always do. Was there anything else there? No. The truth, sire, says our drama. What is she like? Ruby. She's good company, knows how to talk to an old woman. She rubs her cold hands together. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation, so I really appreciate that about her. Did she talk to you much during her last stay? No, she was mostly silent this time, kept to herself. What do you mean? She tried not to let it show, but I could tell that she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room. Why do you think she left the bullet there? How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around totting has 2 T's, I'm pretty sure. Totting a gun. She looks back toward her shack, thinking. You could ask her about your hunch, says our inland empire, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill. Well, I might have I have a possible explanation in my mind. I? Do tell. A seagull flies overhead, obviously a bad omen. It's an exit plan. Exit from what? The world? The lieutenant stops writing for a moment. He looks at you, then at the old woman. She tilts her head to the side, looking up at you, deep in thought, and then she makes her mind up. No, she's a fighter. She really believes that, says our drama. Yeah, I heard she was a heavy drinker with anger issues. Have you ever witnessed that kind of behavior? Nothing of the sort, she shakes her head. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She fit in that way. But I only knew her to have a beer on the beach while watching the sunset. The sun sets for everyone, says our Inland Empire. Well, how is that a challenging check? Wait. Do you mean that she was on the beach drinking with everybody? Maybe that's what it means. She isn't what you'd call a drunk. Even offered me some from time to time. Said it was part of the Camignon life. But I never saw her lose control of herself, the way some people do. Did she have any technical equipment with her, like radio stuff? Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape milieu she had made. She brushes her forehead with the back of her hand. Water drips to the ground. Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that. She may simply have kept the equipment elsewhere, says our savoir-faire. Yeah. Where did she go? I don't know. Further up the coast? She tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north. It's a peninsula. She might be trapped, says our visual calculus. After a moment of silence, the washerwoman says, You'll never find her, you know. Her tone is without malice. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived. I wouldn't worry about that, ma'am. We're persistent. But that place is huge. She's a needle in a haystack. Yes, it's going to be too much work for you to find her. She drops the rag in the bucket. It's clean now. Better for you to stay here. Get a nice cozy fire going in the heater. The Feld electric mural, says our Inland Empire. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time. Or not Feld electric. Thanks, Inland Empire. How is that a trivial success, though? Thanks, that was, I know exactly why that's a trivial success. This is meant for everybody. Or for as many people as you possibly can. So it requires 6, which is really low. Actually, how would you even... How does it require 6? Our Inland Empire... Is that a roll? Does it get a roll? I think that gets a d6 on top. I can't find the Inland Empire right now. It's Psyche. It's over there. I have a 7. So I rolled... a 6 on top of it? Yeah, you always roll... Yeah, you get a 6 on top of the roll. I think. Maybe. Potentially. So you always succeed at this. That's why it's trivial. But the point is, because this is the way to advance in the storyline, so everybody must have access to this thing. I believe that's how the game is hiding, basically a little bit of a Deus Ex Machina. Not quite a Deus Ex Machina, but, you know, sort of like a disregard for your build, I suppose. I had a few more questions about Ruby. What more do you want to know about that poor girl? I don't want to know. Goodbye. One thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her. She looks around. The air is getting colder. She really means it. It's an honest plea, says our empathy. She's a good girl, whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in. Yeah, I would think that my character would have more than one anchor point to sympathize with her for sure. But we're gonna go to the Feld Electric place to see what that is. So right now, we're over here. The Feld Electric is to the northwest. Oh, she's in there, isn't she? She's definitely in there. We've been around, but the game is sort of like very standoffish when it came to actually being able to figure out who was in there, or if she wasn't there at all. Oh, that was interesting. Did you see? Oh, it's over here. It's over here. No. That's the thing. Yeah, my character was in auto travel right there because I left clicked on the other side, and it even took a little while, but my character figured the path out. Let's see if these guys say anything new.
Hello, isn't this a fine morning?
It is. You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. Recherche... I actually don't know how to pronounce that in French, because it's the... I don't know. In development. Yeah. Let's step closer. Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. Feld Electrical, says our encyclopedia. You only know them as a small company that makes ink cartridges. It looks like they used to be big. With a coma at the end, interestingly enough. There's something in the wind. Sometimes, that's an easy success there. The only way to go forward is to fail first. Could Ruby be in there? I'm gonna ask out loud. Kim says, in there. She could, or... He points behind you. She could be in the identical ruin over there. Or in that boat shack, in that church tower, maybe. Why single out this one building, says our logic. Well, I will never be able to roll or to have 12 points in shivers. So this is always going to be a 3% chance. Listen to the wind. That's what it said. Sometimes the way forward is to fail first. Suddenly, all is quiet. There's no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down, or gone behind a corner. You only hear distant waves washing the coast. What was I even attempting to do here? Trying to talk to the wind? The city, whatever you thought would happen, did not. And now you're just standing there, in the pale of the morning, with your hands fallen to your side. Is, our logic says, trying to talk to the city something you've done before? Is it your secret repertoire? Is it in your secret repertoire? A trick for when you're out of ideas? A prayer of sorts, says our inland empire. To rêve a shawl. I'm gonna turn to the lieutenant. She could be anywhere. How do we find her? How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. The lieutenant sighs and then gets a hold of himself. Okay. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. He looks to the north. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on the wild cryptid hunt, so we have an understanding of the geography at least. And then there's the church. He looks at the bell tower. We've already searched that and can't rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too. Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way. Sector by sector, go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village. And if that fails, if we don't find her, then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that. He looks behind him at the dark red box crumbling across the chasm. Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again, says our Shivers. Look where it already got you. Shut up, Shivers, you failed me. Our savoir-faire kicked in. An adventure awaits. An adventure on the wind-swept urban coast. Okay, we're gonna go to the Whirling in Rags. Later, in the afternoon.
Isn't this a fine...
Can I talk to your kid? No, you're both the same person. Okay. So this is progress. We also know that she wasn't in the village. The problem with knowing that she wasn't in a village is that we didn't talk to everybody in the village. But the game sort of says, you know, it said it. So we didn't talk to the woman, to their mother, I believe. Wasn't there a woman out here? Hey kids. I talked to the kids before, didn't I? Yeah. The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it. You must be Lillian's twins. This one doesn't say anything, kicking the concrete with his worn-out sneaker. Lily's our mum, explains the other, tongue still lolling out of his mouth. Bye. Let's not be confrontational with kids. They don't understand what confrontation is. It's basically the gist of it. Is you can't confront kids for as a persuasion manner. So what do we have besides money? Industrial coal pellets burn with an orange glow. Somebody's singing. It stopped. Oh. Oh, that's the song. That's the awesome. That's the song. Wait, is that the song? Is that the lady outside? Ruffed grouse taxidermy. Take it. We're robbers. We don't care about things. That's just money. The dead body of a grouse stuffed with some unknown material. From a distance, it might just pass off as the real thing. The bird itself looks extremely ruffled and slightly grumpy. Sorry. So this doesn't go anywhere. I wonder if it is the woman outside. Because if it is the woman outside, we have a name for the main theme of the game. You know, canonical name besides, you know, the developers saying that stuff because developers know all this stuff now. Keep an ear out. Nope. So it could be the kids singing that, but I don't think so. Okay, so that's progress. That does solve things, though. But let's go over there. Let's let our characters trudged through the mud. And running all the while. Just never stop running. Why would you be slow in this game? It's already slow enough. I mean, in the sense that it's pretty fast, actually. You run pretty fast, but from a realistic perspective. From a video game standpoint, that's a different thing altogether. Okay, so this building, it's got this. This is the one that I actually checked. And we can do a visual calculus. Did we fail this? Why this many bullet holes? We got bullet holes on the plaza, bullet holes in the backyard, know about the revolution, and know about Feld electrical. And that is why... that's like that. So, or that's why we have a new thing. So we're gonna need visual calculus, which we should have pens made of it. But we're gonna see. Pain threshold. Is the ledger visual calculus based? Got some glasses. These glasses are the... No, this miner's perception. Okay. Eye of the Reckoner is why the visual calculus, and a bit dry is why the drama. It is a bit dry. I like it though. I like those glasses. I had those or something like that in the past. Now let's look at our ledger. Oh, we have the ledger already. Yeah, it's minus authority. It's really weird that it's... Why is it minus authority? Oh, it doesn't tell. Oh, interesting. Because it's an interact item. Okay, well, that's good. We can try... Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them. A dozen at least. Their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet. No sound. No movement. 10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner. Automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side. The morning sun rises beyond the horizon, radiating the first light of the day. The order was carried out at dawn. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Is that how you call it? Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains. What is this? The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round. where only one soldier has a loaded rifle. It looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed. A host of men in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust, is the people against the wall. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations, as demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes. They stand facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background. Ordinary people, says our esprit de corps, familiar, each and every one of them. Who were they? Comrades? The forsaken? The wretched? Who tried to rise against the horrors of the world? Do we mean actual, like, communists in Comrades? Because probably was. Let's look at the line of soldiers. 7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side, but from which one? Let's look at the person who's standing on the side. The commandant, the one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air. The lights of the muzzle flashes. The lights of the muzzle flashes, dancing on his face. Kim, who was in this execution? At first, the lieutenant doesn't say a word. He just stares at the wall. I don't know, he says finally. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces. Remember what Trent Heitlstam said about Feld. I don't remember who Trent Heitlstam is, because they don't say their names. We just see their names immediately, and I forget. What if it was the Feld personnel who, when their assets were being seized by the revolutionaries? The lieutenant nods. Another likely scenario. Or maybe, says our reaction speed. You mentioned coalition forces. Could it have been them against the wall? Yeah, it's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was the commandant, the superior giving the orders. A cold sea wind blows away the fears. Experience. That's what that is. Look for Ruby? Sure. Ruby along the coast. So we can't... Oh, there's a bottle over there. That wasn't there yesterday. Was it? Potent Pilsner. It must have been there and I just missed it. Because if I zoom in, it's easy to miss some things. And also I need to press tab and let go of it before I, you know, to highlight things properly. Because that's how they blink at me. Blink at me, Loot. Blink at me, for I must see you. Now, just going up the coast. Sounds like a plan. Now, we don't need to go to the church. But we do need to go to the reeds. And the bunker apparently is the last one. Oh, there's the pier. Right. I'm a little bit lost. I'm not sure where I'm supposed to go. There's that, but we have done that already. Oh, this is a dead end. Once you get past this building. Let's look. Yeah, that's why. We're not supposed to go over there. Even in the places that we just were, they don't show up on the map. Such an interesting map. It's really hard to understand it at first, to be honest. But it works well enough. That's the telephone. No items over here. This is the pier. Okay. I was wondering if you were over there. Yeah, there's nothing here. There's no prompt. Okay. So that is that. Kim really laid it out for us very nicely. Just do whatever you can. Don't worry about the rest. That's mostly how the game works, and I like it. I think in a tabletop session, role-playing games like this and just doing whatever you can is a lot easier because the game master can always say, can always just bring the plot forward whenever. Because of course they know how it's supposed to go, and if you don't find Ruby, oh no, look at her, she's down the street. Roll initiative. But in a video game, I think you might have to either you do program all those options of just finding her by chance, or you need to be a little bit more lax with the objectives if there's a time limit, which there is. There is a time limit. And this is the very edge. That was the bunker before. And this just doesn't go anywhere. Okay, let's go to the bunker. But we're out of time for the day, so for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Disco Elysium. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment. Like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.